Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got a special review. It's a sound system demo on the Infiniti M35 and its 14-speaker Bose surround sound audio system. This would apply to vehicles from about 2006 all the way probably into the next generation, which I think came around 2010, 2011 or so. Now the reason we're reviewing this car is because I actually used to own a 2006 Infiniti M35X. And thanks to Kia of Canton, I've got the opportunity to drive one very similar to my car. I was driving by and I saw it there in the lot and I said, I'd like to take that out and do some videos, please. And they were like, absolutely. So this thing is very similar to my car, same interior, very similar exterior. So if you want to see the full driving review, check the link in the description. And if you're in the Detroit area and need a Kia, check out Kia of Canton. But this is going to be the in-depth review that we typically do, and it's going to be cool to listen to the songs, hear how this sound system sounded, especially if you're interested in this car as a used vehicle. It's a great used car choice, but it's also interesting to see a system that I thought was really outstanding when I owned the car, and kind of seeing it now that I've evaluated almost 200 vehicles for our audio system demos. So let's hop out and take a quick look at it. The M35, or the M series in general, was the mid-size luxury car for Infiniti. It was competing against the BMW 5 Series and Mercedes E-Class, and it did a really good job. This won a ton of accolades from magazines and those type of people alike back when it came out, but never really got the sales success that those other stalwarts did, so it ended up being canceled in 2019 after a second generation, technically a third if you go back to the old Infiniti M car. But I loved mine, and they're a great used car deal right now at something like, I think this one's listed for about $7,500, $8,000 or so, with 171,000 miles. But these things age really, really well, and as we're about to see from the sound system, they've got some good tech as well. Now we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV audio files. This time we're playing it on my phone, plugged in through the auxiliary input here in the M35. And we've got our high quality binaural Roland microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with the sound settings set to the factory defaults, just as the audio engineers intended. So let's take a look at that now. Not a touch screen in the Infiniti, but a very easy to use button system, very responsive too. So we can go here to setting, audio, look how quick that is. You got bass, treble, balance, fader, a Bose center point on and off option, Bose audio pilot. So center point makes for kind of a center focused sound coming out of that center speaker, but it only works for certain audio inputs, and aux is not one of them. So if we were listening to, I think, Sirius XM or a high quality audio file on a compact flash drive or a disc, then it would use that center speaker. But for just doing auxiliary, we're not getting that center used, even though center point is on. An audio pilot actually changes the levels of the music as more road noise gets going as you get driving. You have a surround volume setting, which works just a little bit in stereo mode like this, but again, if you were listening to a 5.1 stereo disc, which I have done in this car back when I owned it, then you really get these surround speakers right here kicking in. But once this song picks up, we'll turn up and down, and maybe you'll hear a little bit of the difference coming through. And that's it. So let's start off going through those. So as you can see, really no noticeable difference changing the surround volume when you're in stereo mode. For audio controls, you have this really nice volume knob. It's easy to grab. It's got little clicks in it right here by the driver, and then you have volume clicks on the left side of the wheel. For track selection, you can use this tuning knob, these tuning buttons, or I believe, if I remember correctly, this will do track selection as well on the left side of the steering wheel. For audio inputs, you have a good amount for this 2006-2008-ish model year. You have AM, FM, Sirius XM, satellite radio, although back then it was probably just XM satellite radio. You have no Bluetooth audio input. That was a big downer. Is you couldn't actually play. You could do Bluetooth phone like calls, but you couldn't actually do Bluetooth audio. There is an auxiliary input, but only when you get the 14 speaker sound system. If you get the lower trims, there wasn't an aux input, and it's actually an RCA input, so you have to have one of these adapters. Fortunately, I still had one from when I had my Infiniti, and my Town & Country works the same way. You do have a disc player, not only CD, but DVD as well for both audio and video, because you could actually play videos on the screen only when you were stopped. So you couldn't actually use it while you were driving, but if you were stopped, you could watch those. And then compact flash for 2008 as well. My 2006 did not have a compact flash card input, but this one does. So I'm not even going to go through what you're missing because this car is from 2008, and of course you're going to be missing a lot of the Android Auto and all that sort of stuff. But still a good amount of inputs for the age. Speaker locations, as I said, this is the top 14 speaker system. So starting in the bottom left, you have 1 down there, 2 tweeter, 3 center speaker, although again it's not always being used, 4, 5 in the seats, 6, 7, 8, 9, back doors 10, 11, and then on the back deck you've got 12, 13 with a subwoofer in the back deck making 14. All right, no Android Auto or Apple CarPlay obviously, so let's get on the road. interesting that Infiniti used 14 speakers in here, but really the sound is mostly just coming out of these bottom two in the doors. They could do more with the tweeters and they could have done more with the subwoofer as well and just created a richer, fuller sound. Instead, you're getting a lot of this just kind of mid-range noise, and it's tight, it's crisp, but that's all you're really hearing, and especially since there's no mid-range adjustment, you can't really bring that down at all. So I suppose you could maybe bump up the treble and the bass and get a little bit more out of the system, but surprising for the flat EQ. This next one, we will turn the bass all the way up about partway through. And I apologize, the dealer plate fell down in the back there, so it is getting some rattling. Oh, there we go. Now it's thumping. Got some mirror shakeage. Not bad. My thoughts on the 14 speaker Bose surround system here in the Infiniti M35. I might have had it built up a little bit in my head when I owned this car. I mean, it certainly doesn't sound bad, but I thought it was one of the best systems, and obviously, you know, it holds its own, but it's not nearly up there with the greats. So for modern objective sound quality standards, I'd be giving it a B. It sounds good. It's powerful. I like the amount of power. You're not really getting any distortion. And the bass thumps, like I said, I just wish they would have done more with this setup. I mean, you got that center speaker and these seat speakers, but yet you're only really hearing them when you use 5.1 music, and most people are not listening to 5.1 surround music. So thank you all so much for watching. I had fun doing this. Hopefully, if you're looking to buy this car, you enjoy this and find it useful, or if you guys just want to watch and have fun, appreciate that too. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on. And shout out to Kia of Canton for letting us take this first spin.